A chef who loses his restaurant job starts up a food truck in an effort to reclaim his creative promise while trying to piece back together his estranged family. This is my review of Chef. So this movie didn't come out in my area, so I had to wait for it to come out on DVD and Blu-ray. And once it did, I rented it and watched it with my dad 3 months ago. And I have to tell you guys, after seeing the movie 3 months ago, I still think that Chef is a really great movie. The good points. The best thing that this movie had to offer was the writing by Jon Favreau. And I say that because I thought that the writing by him was done well because he made me invest with the story. And I liked the story as well because Jon Favreau plays the main character who is a chef that is trying to balance his work life with his family life. And most of that family life has to do with his relationship with his son. Another reason why I liked the writing of this movie was because of its originality. And I thought that Jon Favreau wrote the drama and comedy well together into this movie. And speaking of that, I thought that Jon Favreau directed those moments well too. Because not only did Jon Favreau write and star in this movie, he also directed the movie too. And overall, Favreau's direction in the movie was great. I thought the best directed scenes in the movie had to do with the father-son relationship and with the cooking or food scenes. I thought he did good at directing the father-son relationship, since that was one of the aspects of the story. And the reason he did a good job with the food or cooking scenes was because he was showing the process of what a chef or a cook goes through when making food. And for me, when I was watching those scenes, my mouth was watering because the food that Jon Favreau was making looked very tasty, and it was like, oh my god, that looks so good. The editing and pacing were done well in this movie because I didn't feel like there was a moment that was wasted. And it's probably because it just went on and didn't really stay too long to focus on one thing for too long. The movie was shot well from beginning to end, especially the cooking scenes because, again, it made my mouth water when I saw Jon Favreau or other people cooking these foods, and my mouth was like, I want that. And the only other good point I can say about this movie is that the acting was good by the cast. I didn't think it was the best acting of the year, but still it was good acting. The bad points. I found 3 things to be bad about this movie. One of those things that I didn't like was with Robert Downey Jr.'s character. Because Robert Downey Jr. is only in the movie for 5 minutes. And when you see that one scene of him for 5 minutes, you think, oh, he's probably going to be back later on. But once you find out that he's not back, it's sort of like, okay, what was the point of him being in the movie then? I mean, I know it was a small cameo because RDJ is a friend of Jon Favreau. But I mean, it's like, come on, anyone can play that role. And it's like, okay, if you're going to have your friend in a movie, then have him at least be in one other scene. Because RDJ's character is the person that gives Jon Favreau's character the food truck. And the 2 other things that I didn't like about this movie are that there was no resolution at all with Scarlett Johansson's character. And I'm a bit surprised about that since she is sort of a plot device because of something that happened with Jon Favreau's character. Another thing that I didn't like was with the ending. And I won't spoil anything, but it has to do with these 2 characters. And these 2 characters do and don't have their differences with one another. And once you see the movie, you'll know what I mean. But it felt weird for their relationship to be at sort of shambles at one time. And several months passed before their relationship is okay again. And that felt weird to me because it seemed like Jon Favreau was just trying to make a happy ending. When overall the movie was trying to be realistic, and that moment at the end didn't seem realistic to me. Okay, like I said, I watched this movie with my dad. My dad gives this movie a 2.75 out of 4 stars, while I will give it a 3.75 out of 4 stars. I like this movie a lot. I think you'll like it too if you're into dramas, dramedies, or cooking movies. Or if you're a fan of movies in general, or with Jon Favreau movies. So that's my review of Chef. Hope you guys liked it. And other than that, guys, that's it.